my name is Marielle and I'm one of the trainers in Power Practice. There are plenty of enhancements that were included in Power Practice version 4.9. In this video, my goal is to demonstrate and focus on the most requested and main improvements in the latest release. So let's begin. The Practice Analysis module now has a new tab called Productivity. This tab will give an overview of your practice health and clinic efficiency. First, we choose a from and to dates to run the report for. Then choose how to run the report by, either daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. List by, choose whether to report by producers or by chairs. Depending on your selection, the options will change below. Choose the producers or chairs to report on, or select all. Productivity. Choose if you would like to track by summary, appointment code, or appointment type. Choosing appointment type and appointment code will enable you to select specific codes or types to track. Next, select the unscheduled appointment types to show in your report, or deselect and click on Summarize Unscheduled to combine all three in the report under one line. You can include estimate totals within the appointment details and report on producer net fees if desired. Lastly, choose if you'd like the results in hours, units, or both. Under the Options button, you can further customize your report by coloring and bolding information and setting up colors to highlight usage percentages. For example, I will choose red to highlight all of my usage percentage between 1 to 10. Now when I click on Generate, my report will look something like this. We have our months on the left-hand side, and each producer has their own column. Booked will give you a count of how many booked appointments are in that criteria, and the total number of hours used. Usage percentage is based on booked and available times, estimate net fees, and unscheduled appointments. Next, we have our Team Huddle report. This is an interactive report which can be used during the daily morning meetings. To use it, enter the date range to run the report on. It should automatically fill with the current date. Change it if you'd like to run the report for a different date. Selecting options based on booked appointments only will display information for patients booked on the date range selected. Then select the additional information you'd like to see, such as confirmation status, best contact, notes, and additional indicators. Sort by producer will list all appointments per producer column. By date will list appointments by date and time order, regardless of the producer. Choose the producer to display the appointments for, or select all. The options or information you would like to include in the report, such as medical alerts for the patient, insurance information, recalls if they're not booked, planned appointments, outstanding treatments, AR balance, insurance limits remaining, if the patient has a birthday, and so on. You can choose the production information to display, keeping in mind that if the meeting is done at the beginning of the day, the numbers displayed will be yesterday's production and revenue information. Then you have the notes that you can opt to include. Run the report and results will display on the screen. There will be a total appointment count per producer if sorted by producer, and for the whole report based on the categories selected. A star beside the patient's name means there is another appointment for the same account within the same day. To view the appointments, right-click and list family appointments. The number beside the star will tell you which appointments belong to the same account. Dan has a number 1, and if you scroll down, Mai also has a number 1, indicating that they belong to the same account. Natalie has a number 2, and as we scroll down, Clyde also has a number 2, indicating they're the second account with the same day family appointments. You can edit, select information, view insurance details and AR details, and print routing slips, access imaging, and more with a right-click menu. Production and revenue numbers from the previous day will be displayed below. Blue are for all of the fees, and green will be for all of the payments. Selected note types will be at the very bottom of the screen. Deselecting options based on booked appointments only will allow you to filter the option selected based on future and the past date ranges entered. The letter beside the option tells us which date range will be used for that specific option. We have an F for future and P for the past option's date range. Running the report will now display a filtered report for the patients booked on the date ranges selected. At the very bottom of the report, we have a total appointment count, and it will also display all the patients in the database that meet the criteria regardless if they have a scheduled appointment or not. In the patient profile module, we can now use the new patient status report to track status changes and restore deleted patient files. To access this report, right-click in the patient file module, print, and select patient status report. First, we set up our criteria. We choose our default doctor or set it for all, choose a specific status to track, or again, choose all to see all status changes. Then we select if we want to see patients only, include deleted, exclude moved, or if we want to match the current selected patient status. Then we enter the dates to run the report on and choose how to sort the results. Clicking the Generate button will run the report. Highlight a patient name, right-click, and select Status History to see the selected patient status history. Here we can see the date, time, and user login used to change the status. On the bottom, we can choose to list in chronological order and exclude moved patient charts. The red lines are the deleted patients. To bring back the deleted patient, click on the red patient name, click the Restore button, confirm you want to bring back the patient. You will be asked to provide the daily security password, which can be obtained by calling support. Then complete the process by confirming the patient information and status and clicking OK. You can also activate a patient from this list just by selecting the patient's name and clicking on Select Patient. Insurance policy limits can now be set up based on units. In the Insurance tab, access the Policy Coverage window, locate the item or category with unit limits to enter. Select either Category Limit or Item Limit based on the policy information and select Based on Units tick box. You can enter the unit limit in the open field, and don't forget to include your item period. Save and close. In the same way, each dependent will have their own remaining limits now set in units. Within the Transactions module, the Receipts has been enhanced with a transaction list breakdown for each payment, as well as the ability to print additional information such as procedure code and tooth number and surfaces. Consolidate Transfers will hide any transfer balance adjustments from the receipt, and Preview Details allows you to pick and choose what information to include in the receipt. Deselect the information you want to leave out and click Print. Income tax receipts can now be broken down by patient and can now be printed with another family member's name on the receipt. Plan treatments can now be set to check out last instead of first. Simply go into the wrench icon, in the Settings tab and enable Checkout Planned Treatments Last. A default selection can also be chosen for all planned claims under the Default tab and Submit Planned dropdown. This default selection will be in your treatment flow window once your planned claim is processed. In the ledger, you can now hide payment reversals with a right-click menu, and you can also change the payment code by highlighting the payment, right-clicking, and selecting Edit. Changes will be reflected in the daily trial bank deposit. Scheduler enhancements include a more streamlined producer setup window with the producer at the top. Then they're followed by the chairs, and finally the hours. Maximum chair display has been increased to 40, and the maximum producers displayed increased to 30. Both appointment list and recall list has been enhanced with a patient status drop-down menu to filter the list with a patient status. Regarding reports, the producer analysis report now gives you the option to choose a specific provider and a date range for the report. The month-end report will now default to the previous month and is password protected for the first 14 days of the month. Heading over to the odontogram, procedure codes within the quick buttons can now be sorted. Procedure codes sorted will be displayed in the top of the list. The provider for clinical notes and treatment notes can now be selected and changed within the same note screen. Treatments can now be grouped by treatment status and appointment number through your customized chart setting icon. Simply select the tick box for group by status/appointment number and accept. The new partially impacted condition will allow for perio readings for the tooth. You can also choose to hide or show an object in the odontogram by finding the treatment line, right-clicking, selecting object, and hide or show. Remove and restore tooth options have also been added under the object right-click menu to restore a tooth or to remove it from the odontogram. This is strictly made for extraction procedures. So highlight your extraction code, right-click, under Objects, you can remove the tooth or restore the tooth. Finally, the treatment proposals received a major upgrade in the form of case presentation. Simply highlight the proposal, right-click, and select Case Presentation. Here we can further organize the proposal into phases and prepare appointment information ahead of time. Select a treatment, right-click, and put it in a new phase. Phase 1, Appointment 1, Extraction. Make sure you have the correct unit of time and click OK. You can also select all of the treatments within the proposal, right-click, New Phase, and start creating your phases this way. Move treatments and change the plan at any time by using Phase Layout. Highlight, right-click, and Phase Layout. Here I can create another appointment within Phase 2 by selecting the treatments to include for the appointment, putting in the new appointment number, units required, and clicking Update. Close and adjust the phase information by selecting Edit Phase Info. This will now be our bridge insert appointment. And click OK. You can also accept and decline specific treatments from this screen by highlighting the treatments. Hold down the Control key if you are selecting multiple treatments. Right-click and change status to Accepted. And you can still view the complete history of the entire original proposal by right-clicking and selecting History. Green are all of our accepted treatments. Compare proposals by right-clicking and selecting Compare. Select the two proposals to compare and choose to show history if you would like to include the history, and hit the Compare button. When printing, make sure you select Include Phase Breakdown if you would like all of that information to be printed out with the proposal. This concludes our 4.9 enhancements walkthrough. Just a reminder that only the major enhancements were covered in this session, and a PDF booklet with a complete list of enhancements will be emailed directly to our clients in batches and eventually will be posted in the Power Practice website. For any concerns or questions about the enhancements, please feel free to contact support at our regular phone line. And I'd like to thank you for all of your time with being with me in this video.